Once again, good evening. Welcome aboard here for a Friday night at the Red Mile, day 2 of Grand Circuit racing action. I'm Gabe Prewitt, and I'm pleased to be joined tonight by a special guest, Thomas Svensen from Norway. And Thomas, welcome to the Red Mile.
Thank you, Gabe. It's a pleasure.
And I know it's not your first trip to the Red Mile because you've been stateside for a few years now. Talk to us about the decision to come over to the States and what you've been doing since.
Come to the States in 2015, first work for Jonas Svensen, and then I go to Aki Svanstedt and Paul Kelly. Now with the Jimmy Tactor, the decision was like the horses, the sport over here with, the best horses is in America.
Yeah, well, you've certainly had a good education, it sounds like, from Svanstedt to Paul Kelly, Jonas Svensen, and now Jimmy Tactor. That's like going to Harvard and Yale and Princeton. So you've had plenty of great education on the North American racing style. What are some of the major differences between racing here in the States as opposed to Norway?
The racing, compared to Norway, we don't have any hobbles, throwing hobbles, no Lasix, no head pole with burrs. We don't have all the races with the starting gate. We have some other races too with they go around in circles.
And most importantly, though, for guys like us, you do have big betting pools over there, I know, as well.
Yeah, in Norway we have like a pick 7 every Saturday with around $1.5 million in the pool. And Sweden, they have like between $10 and $50 million in the pool. And we have big pools every day in the pick 6 and pick 5s.
Okay, well, that's great action for sure. I know you talked to, we saw some of the racing action here. We were talking about it off camera right before we went on. We had 4 splits of the bluegrass for the 2-year-old colt and gelding trotters last night, and we saw a couple of short prices get the job done. We had Green Man Alicia, of course, who was just a layup in that spot. Can't Have Fashion was a short price at the nightcap. We saw a couple of upsets here last night as well. Chin Chin Hall, 14-1, got the job done there. Aldebaran Walkabout was actually placed as a winner when Don't Let 'Em made a break in stride. Did you have any thoughts on the way the track was playing or any of the racing action here last night?
The first couple of races was the track was not good, but when it goes like in the late races, the track was okay. But the 55 mile, some of the babies did yesterday was like maybe 53 mile.
Yeah, definitely impressive. Now, hopefully we won't have to deal with any of those type of conditions tonight. It certainly looks like we've got a fast track, and it should be playing fair as always here at the Red Mile. Now, before we dive into tonight's action, Thomas, you mentioned you're working for trainer Jimmy Tactor now, so you've got a lot of superstars in that stable. He's got some in tonight. We'll get to that. But up at Dayton tonight, I know you guys have a couple of live chances in those big Grand Circuit events. You've got Ariana G and Western Fame.
Yeah, Ariana G is up there. I hope she can go a good mile today. Maybe she can go in the international race on Yonkers if she do a good performance today.
Very important race then on her calendar tonight. Of course, a very talented mare at Ariana G. And what about Lazarus? He has been the talk. I've gotten several texts. When is Lazarus racing at the Red Mile? What's up next for him? He's generated a lot of buzz, obviously, with the thoroughbred crossover as well. The Taylor family being involved. What's Lazarus up to, and when should we expect to see him?
Lazarus was on Hoosier Park. I was up there when we raced him last week. He bounced back and win on Hoosier. He's going to get a week off. He was the first horse not to come in Dayton, gonna race next week in down here, and he is just a pleasure to be around, professional on all way, and yeah, just a professional guy.
So we can look forward to seeing Lazarus in closing day here at the Red Mile 1 week from Sunday. Well, we're going to give you your first North American test. I know you've done some TV work, some handicapping analysis over in Norway. We're going to put you right at the test here stateside tonight. And I know you do like to make a bet from time to time as well.
Yeah, I'm always been like the gambling, and yeah, I watch the races all the time here in America. That's my hobby, watch horses and watch races.
What are your favorite tracks if you're going to make a bet here in North America?
Yeah, in America it's Meadowlands and Mohawk, and I like when you do the job down in Winter and Pompano. I like the track where they have like the pools and they have information to the gamblers, like in Mohawk and Meadowlands. It's like some tracks should learn something. Hoosier Park is good too.
Yeah, they do a great job at Hoosier, and appreciate you mentioning Pompano and, of course, Meadowlands, Mohawk, 2 great circuits as well. So we're going to dive into the Friday night action. We've got a competitive card tonight. We've got several stakes divisions. We kick things off, Thomas, with the late closing event. It's for pacing mares, and I think we're in agreement here. It really seems to be a mare that towers over this group in terms of class. That's the 4 Rockin' Serena. In fact, 3 starts ago, she picked up a win against preferred mares at Hoosier Park, and that's no easy task to do that. So it really seems to jump off the page in terms of class here, the opener.
First thing I see when I open the program and when I go through the program, that's the best pick today. I think she's the best horse who's going to win today. She don't going to pay anything, Gabe, but a winner is a winner.
Well, we might have to go with the ice-cold Exacta that we're both hit on as well, because the one Heart of the Ocean, she's hit the board in 13 of 15 this season. The Bettor's Delight Filly, she comes off back-to-back wins. Now, it's against non-winners of 2 company, so you know maybe it's going to be a bit tougher on her tonight, but you can't argue with her recent form.
Now, Rail, Yannick Ringgrass in the bike, she's going to get a good position, and she can have a good shot as to be a second. She's 32 to 1 right now, but Rockin' Serena, she normally going to jug this.
Yeah, all right. Do want to give a little bit of a shout out there to the 7 Lorena's Ruffiat as well. 4-year-old McArdle mare. She raced here at the Grand Circuit with us at 2. She actually won a bluegrass split there. Charlie Norris was the trainer and driver at that point. She took her career mark here, 152 flat as a 2-year-old. Obviously, something come up. She missed her entire 3-year-old season, but she's back at one of her favorite tracks here at the Red Mile in the opener. We move on now to the second race. It's the first stakes event on the card tonight. First division of the Norman Woolworth Memorial for the 2-year-old trotting fillies. And this race a bit wide open. Now, Dave Miller had his choice of 5 here, Thomas. He was listed on numbers 1, 4, 5, 7, and 9. He opted the 7 Evident Beauty, and we both tried her to be close. We're both going to try and beat her for the top spot.
Yeah, it's like maybe the cheapest of the 2-year-old trotting fillies race today. I saw a very nice warm-up where Jimmy Tactor was out warming up as Iago gave. I had 28 last quarter on her in a race bike, and she looked good. And in the final last time, she was loaded as a 5th, and she could, if she got a good trip, better trip last time in the final, she could win that. And I think she have a good shot, 9 to 2.
That's a great information there, and a great warm-up tonight from Asiago. And Thomas, of course, works for trainer Jimmy Tactor. You would know the scoop on that filly for sure. Wouldn't shock me whatsoever. I tried a long shot here. I'm going to go with another daughter of Trixton over the favored Trixton filly, the 6 Golden Tricks. Now, I think she may have struggled around the half-mile track there at Freehold, but she was very good when we saw her at the Meadowlands earlier this summer. You know, she was close there in the New Jersey Sire Stakes final. She rallied to be 3rd, and she was a good 3rd there in that nometer of 2 as well, and a tough spot behind French Cafe. Do you think the stretch back out at the bigger track is going to help her today?
I think so. She was very good in the New York Sire Stakes there. She was up against Whispering Oaks and French Cafe. Both of them would be like a favorite in this race. Evident Beauty, she was very good up in Canada. She was 2nd behind the Ice Duchess. I think those the 3 horses we have mentioned now, I think we have picked the winner.
And Evident Beauty, she's really the filly that you like to see that steady progression. It seems she's gotten better and better with each appearance. So there's no question she's the one to beat. She is the deserving favorite in tonight's second race. And, of course, that kicks off our 50-cent pick 5. Thomas, I'm interested to get your thoughts on the 3rd race. 2-year-old pacing fillies here. 8-horse field. This looks like a shootout to me. I see tons of early speed in this event. Really, any number of these fillies could spring off the gate. That's why I think it may set up for a closer. And I'm on board with the 4 Euphoria, who's been sprinting home nicely, but things really just have not set up completely perfect for her yet. I thought tonight could be the night here.
I agree, Gabe. She coming home. She kick home 26 quarters all the time. She have Corey Calla and just going to get a position. And you have Doug McNair, Dexter Dunn with some favorites. I think we're going to have a fast first half.
I do too. That's a race that looks like it could be a shootout into the first turn there with tons of early speed. So we'll see if Euphoria, if we can team up there and she can pick up the pieces. She's 9 to 2 on the morning line. 4th race tonight. That's our first change. If you're just tuning in with us, scratch 6 Gypsy Rain out of tonight's 4th race. We've got a late closing event here. Purse of $11,000 down to a field of 6. Now, Thomas, last night, I actually was able to get my long shot of the night home, which is a very rare occurrence, I might add. Chin Chin Hall pulled a 14 to 1 upset in that stakes event. The 2 Pilot Discretion. I like this Muscle Hill Colt first-time starter tonight right back. He's coming out of that same qualifier. The track was well off that morning. He did finish a close 30. Sprinted home nicely there, 27 and change. We get Andy McCarthy in the bike here for trainer Tony Alanya tonight. So I'm going to give this guy a crack at first asking here. It's a tough spot when you're up against a tough foe, though, like the 5 Signor Cardine.
Signor Cardine, I saw him all the winter down in Florida when Lindy Farms. He was one of the favorite, the Lindy Farms down there with the Kings County. He haven't improved, impressed me, but he is coming okay. He was good last time when he was third behind forecast. I think he have a very easy spot this time, but Pilot Discretion, 2 minute my last time. It was 4 or 5 seconds off that track, Gabe, and Chin Chin Hall, he go 55 here yesterday, and that track was maybe 2 seconds off for him. So, but Signor Cardine is my best single pick in the pick 5. I think he should normally win this race with the expectation Lindy Farms have.
Okay, well, you heard it there. A slam dunk single, perhaps, in the 50-cent pick five tonight. Senor Cardine going to serve up a short price in tonight's fourth race. Fifth race, we've got another split here for the two-year-old trotting fillies, Norman Woolworth Memorial. And how about the two, the Ice Duchess? She was the co-sales topper at Harrisburg last fall. Top us $320,000. That has proven to be quite the bargain at this point.
Yeah, Ice Duchess, the family, they're Royal Ice Attraction, Ice Duchess, they all are good horses, and so she have a very nice spot, but she is up against good horses. It's good quality in this race with Starita, and Ma was right in the race, so she need to be on her top to win this race.
Now, you maybe know the scoop on her a bit better, obviously working for Trader Jimmy Tactor, but it seemed like maybe she was getting a bit hot there in late August. She made a couple of breaks. I'm not sure what the case was, but once the hobbles went on, it seemed like she completely circled the wagons.
She made a break going by the gate up in Canada. She qualified with Trotting Hobble the next day, and she was like okay with that. And she's getting better and better and better, and she should have a good spot like last time when she won on 154 and 2. She was very impressive.
Okay, and the three-star Rita we both like underneath the Thought of Trixton here as well. She's been a very handy filly that's made some noise on the stakes scene at this point. And how about the 7 Ma was right? We both chose this filly for third. She went an unbelievable mile here in the Kentucky Sire Stakes final. Nearly won that event after having just a terrible trip from post 9. She got parked every step.
Yeah, she was parked over the big favorite Taylor Swiftly, and she fight very good. Ma was right. She's been very good in the earlier races on the Meadows in the Sire Stakes for them. So, and you mentioned Starita. She was like little trouble up in Meadowlands early this season. They put on Trotting Hobbles, and she bounced back to Starita. Some of the young horses, they sometimes need little help.
Equipment adjustments, and yeah, they'll pop in and out of form at times, but there's no question that the Ice Duchess, as we both agree, the one to beat there in tonight's fifth race. We close out the pick five tonight in the sixth race. It's for the two-year-old pacing fillies, and the Kentucky Sire Stakes champion, the 8 Beauty on the Beach. She's just been a handy winner at each of those Lexington starts, 4 in a row. She swept all 3 legs and swept the final. Again, just could not have done it any more impressively. She's going to have to bring her A game to the party tonight, though. A couple of tough fillies to her inside. The 3-0 Tolerance, who hasn't been worse than second at 8 starts, and even the one Queen of the Pride, the Ohio Sire Stakes champion, who tried out Grand Circuit Company last time at Woodbine as well.
Yeah, it's very good class on this, right? Beauty on Beach, post 8, Doug Miner. I'm sure he's going to leave. I'm sure Tony Hall going to find a good position with King of the Pride. The same with David Miller with Zero Tolerance. It's all about the position in this race and the fraction to the half. If Doug McNair need to go too fast to the half, I think he's going to be a little problem coming home.
Yeah, it looks like our hand's going to be forced after drawing that outside post. I agree with you. She may, in fact, be forced to lead the gate. We'll see if she can sustain that early action and get the job done in race 6. Seventh race, it's our favorite time of the night here at the Red Mile because it's pick 4 time at a $10,000 guaranteed pool. We do have a scratch in race 7 of the one Great Explorer. So Great Explorer is out. The 5 High Into the Sky made a break when he tried to leave the gate in that Kentucky Sire Stakes final. Trainer Tony Alania sticks with his main man here, Matt Kruger in the bike. This is a colt that has raced extremely well at some big odds here the past, mind you. He's going to be a much shorter price here, but maybe a bit further along in this group.
Normally, he should be. He was very good when he was second behind Forecast and Don Ladham in the first Kentucky Sire Stakes. In the final, he left too hard. Matt Kruger saved him one time, and then he made a break. And normally, he's just going to go to the front, and then it's all about the fraction here too. Like he's going to have either Memo and Summit in the side behind him, but he should normally win this race. Gabe, he is my single in the pick 4.
And what do you make of the horse like the 3 Summit inside? I wasn't quite sure what to do here. You know, this horse packs a regal pedigrees from that great mare Bluff, and he's a son of Muscle Hill. He was a $300,000 yearling last fall. Now, when he started in mid-July at the Meadowlands, he just romped at a qualifier, open links 57-1. But things seem to have gone off the tracks a bit since. He was beaten there in his career debut at Philly. You know, we know this guy's got talent, but what do you make of him right now?
Disappointment on Chester and Liberty Bell. He is a nice horse, but I want to see him. High Into the Sky, he have a couple of 55, 56 miles down here in his body. I want to see Summit inside. I think he need a couple of races before we see him.
Okay, we move on out of the 8th race as we get set to kick off the late pick 3 tonight. And we're on out the outside here with a couple of talented fillies. The 8, Hannah Dream Girl, she has taken all the worst of it, Thomas, in those last couple of starts. Post 8, never a bargain at Yonkers. Part of that, post 7 at Saratoga. She tried to leave, got a bit of trouble. And the 9 Special Honor, who was an upset winner there in the Daughtery Memorial at the Meadowlands. She's been a very talented filly. She took some time off to freshen up for Team Orange Crush. Those 2 fillies really seem like the 2 to beat here.
normally. Special Honor, I liked her first time I saw her early in the baby race and the sire stakes in New Jersey. She have a hard post, but I think it is like an easy race for her. Hannah Dream Girl has been very, very good, but she has been like in a couple of half-mile tracks now, Gabe. Sometimes you see she made a break last time. I don't like when they race too much on the half-mile tracks. It's sore they get sore, many of the horses.
Okay, well, we'll see if she can maybe step up her game here on the stretch back out tonight, but things have obviously not been going well of late for those outside posts. Ninth race tonight, two-year-old filly pacers once more, another split of the Artspeak Bluegrass division here. The sixth, Prescient Beauty. Now, I talked to owner and breeder Jim Averett about both of his talented fillies. Beauty on the Beach, of course, won the Kentucky Sire Stakes final. He told me all winter long into the spring they thought Prescient Beauty was the better filly, so that's why they took her up to face Grand Circuit Company there at Woodbine. She was a good second there at Dead Heat and behind Tall Drink Hanover. So Prescient Beauty, a filly very talented in her own right.
Yeah, if she do the same race she did in the Great Lady final, then no, she will win this race, Gabe. She fly home 26-3. I saw her the first race that she did up in Woodbine after she was down here, and she impressed me. She is up against some okay horses, but if she bounced back, okay, it's not the easiest ship down from Canada down here for the babies and race like that.
And we'll talk about another shipper in from Canada, a barn that we could not let fly under the radar because he has won a ton of races here over the years. That's trainer Bob McIntyre. She's got a Ponder filly here that's very nice as well. She's been first or second, 6 of 7, every start with the exception of the one time she made a break.
Yeah, she is very, very, very fast. That's the question with her, that she's very, very fast. So if she can get a good trip, but I'm hard to see she beat President Beauty like horse by horse. So President Beauty is she is my top pick.
Okay, and ninth race, we're both on the sixth Prescient Beauty there. We move to the 10th race tonight. We've got super high five wagering, and we've got a very competitive field here in the nightcap, Thomas. This is a field that I went over back and forth several times, and not the type of field I wanted to take a favorite in because I'm just not overly high that any of these fillies has to win. I think there's a lot of talent in this 10-horse event in the nightcap, so I wanted to take a swing with something that I thought was going to be a bit of a price, but she may not be as big of a price as I anticipate. I know you like her as well. That's the Three Sisters Promise. She made a break there last time in that Peaceful Way final. She was definitely going to be at least third, maybe even second if she had stayed trotting. But she's a filly that has a big engine, still learning the game at this point.
Yeah, if you go back to 30th of August when she was second behind Susie, she was just baby after a slow half of Tim. She come very good home, and then she beat Susie the next week. Then she was very, very good. And she was beat like easy third last time. She's 8-1 in the morning line. She was never going to be like that. But if we can get 4-1, 5-1, she is the best long shot I have today. But she is up. It's very open, this race game.
Very open, and I know a filly that you're very familiar with is the two Whispering Oaks. What about her bounce back effort in that Kentucky Sire Stakes final? She had just been okay in 3 runner-up finishes in the leg, but she was vicious there after she found room last time.
Yeah, she impressed me in the baby race. When I saw her in the first race she did on Meadowlands, or the first time maybe she made a break. In the second race she come back and win. I was impressed, but then she going a little down. She was okay, but now when she got the trip, she was perfect.
Okay, well, that's a look at tonight's card. Thomas, we really appreciate you coming in and going over all the action tonight. Last night, 9 races. We had 9 different trainers and 9 different drivers went on the card. So we'll see if the parity continues. Night 2 of Grand Circuit actions up next. Horses on the track in a couple of moments.